Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to be talking about iron sights and how you should be using them and which the best 3-dot sights are for your gun. Are you ready? Stand by. So here we are, making good on the promise of the lead-in on the best 3-dot sights for your pistol. Are you ready? Are you curious what they are? The answer is none of them. 3-dot sights are terrible. Don't use 3-dot sights. I'll tell you why 3-dot sights are terrible, and I will give you an experiment that you can do that costs $0 with your very own gun without buying new sights to see how much better your life will be without 3-dot sights. So diving into that, modern pistols are zeroed so that the bullet is going to impact wherever the tip of the front sight is. So you have to cut your target in half with the sights on your pistol, and wherever you're cutting in half, that's where the bullet is going to show up depending on the distance. Now the problem with 3-dot sights is if all you do is align those 3 little dots across the target, you're more than likely either going to cover the target with the dot, in which case the bullet is going to impact high, but the bigger problem is that those 3 dots are a lot of visual distraction and your eye is not capable of putting 3 dots in a row and having there be equal space and the alignment being perfect between them. It's a very gross sight picture. It's not necessarily any faster than doing it correctly, which we'll talk about here in a second. And the results are usually pretty mediocre. A lot of people even shoot 3-dot sights low when they're just lining up the dots across the target because they hold it underneath where they're trying to shoot. So the way you should be using your sights is cut the target in half, then level the front sight with the top of the rear sight. That's going to create 2 bars of light on either side of the front sight. You're then going to make sure that those bars of light are the same thickness. This technique is called equal height, equal light. You want to see equal height, equal light. Then you put that sight alignment over the target to take a sight picture, and whatever you cut in half with that, that's where the bullet is going to show up if you did your job gripping the gun and pulling the trigger straight to the rear. I've got a video on grip that you should check out if you're having issues shooting left. So I know what you're thinking, humble, sights cost money and I don't want to run out and spend money on sights I'm not sure I'll like. So here's where that $0 experiment goes. Grab a Sharpie or magic marker from your house and color in the 3-dot sights. You can always remove the magic marker with some alcohol and Q-tips if you don't like it. Go to the range and try it with just blacked out sights. Bullseye competitors for years have been using blacked out sights. They are focused on the silhouette of the sights over the target, and having good crisp lines on those blacked out sights helps them get the most precision and the most accuracy, way more than just lining up the dots on 3-dot sights. So with that experiment in hand, you're probably thinking, well, maybe I do want to up my sight game. What would you recommend to up my sight game? Black target sights aren't a bad thing if you can pick them up. Some people need the visual contrast on the front sight, and if you need that, that's fine too. Get a fiber optic front sight. Some of you will think fiber optic sights are fragile. Even if you break a fiber optic front sight, which is really hard to do, I've had them on most of my carry guns at this point, they still are operational without the fiber pipe there. They function as a target sight with a hole in the middle when the pipe's not there. And I've never been able to damage a fiber optic front sight through just carrying it and the types of things a typical civilian would do carrying a gun. The argument always comes up, well, night sights, I need night sights to shoot in the dark. That's why 3-dot sights are great. If you have to have night sights, get a 2-dot setup. And a 2-dot setup is going to be a single dot under the notch on the rear sight and a dot on the front sight. That's going to give you a figure 8 sight picture in the dark. But in reality, if you are shooting in the dark and you are worried about that, you need to get a TLR7. This is the Streamlight TLR7. It comes flush to the end of the muzzle of the compact type gun, throws 500 lumens, and is going to do you a better job of helping light up your sights. But the funny thing about weapon lights is when they're on, you don't see your sights anymore. All you see is the silhouette of them, including night sights. They're going to wash out your sights in a dark room. So all sights are going to appear like these blacked out target sights. But if you have to have the night sights, I'd recommend like the Ameriglow iDot Pros or the Heine Straight 8 sights, or Night Vision I think has a 2-dot sight as well. Any of the 2-dot night sights are probably going to be a winner. please don't get the big dot sights. That's not a winner. So I'm curious what your favorite sights are. Let me know in the comments below what you think are the best sights and how terrible my opinion is on iron sights. If you made it this far, please go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and if you hit the bell, it will tell you when the next fantastic video drops. If you want to take the relationship to the next level, check out the links in the description. You can look over at my Patreon page and become a supporter, and you'll get access to my blog and a behind-the-scene look at what's coming down the pipe. As always, I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care, guys.